I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thousands of Nova Scotians have reached out to make their voices heard about this government's cruel cuts to programs, to services, and to their jobs. The people outside know what's happening in their communities, and they know that it's wrong. Programs that deliver meals to seniors, cut. Money for caregiving and disability support, cut. Thousands of good jobs keeping families in this province, cut. And our arts and culture sector, decimated. Will the Premier stop with the cruel cuts harming Nova Scotians?
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And, we know that the budget document has thousands and thousands of lines, and each line impacts people. We understand that, Madam Speaker. Since we came to government, when we could invest more, we did invest more. We've seen record investments in a number of areas, including the arts and cultural sector, Madam Speaker. But right now, it's a difficult time for sure. We've had to make some difficult decisions. That doesn't diminish the value of people. It's just a recognition of the reality. And we'll continue to make the best decisions we can, and also keeping taxes down. And I wonder if the member opposite would acknowledge that she would raise taxes to restore these cuts. I'd like to hear from the member on that, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is question period, and my question is about cabinet ministers who say they didn't know about these harmful cuts. At least 2 ministers have blamed cuts on the staff of their own departments. It is deeply insulting to the hardworking women and men in this province to be blamed and shamed for this government's fiscal mismanagement. Ministers are, by law, responsible for their departments, and yet they are evading responsibility. Nova Scotians are rightly worried about this lack of leadership. Does the Premier think it's okay for his cabinet ministers to blame their staff for his cuts? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We work with the civil service every single day. We have tremendous respect for the civil service. I completely reject the member's characterization that we have great respect for those who go to work every day and serve Nova Scotians. Madam Speaker, we're making tough, difficult decisions. This is a tough time for our country. Look across the country, every province, trying to do what they can. Many are increasing taxes. We're not. We will protect the core services. I know this week the Leader of the Opposition had a chance to promise no tax increases, Madam Speaker. She dodged the question, said, we're not talking about that right now. But, Madam Speaker, that's what governing is about. It's about facing the reality of making decisions. We take those decisions seriously, and I personally take responsibility for every single one of them, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the question Nova Scotians have is who came up with these proposals? Because no one can seem to defend them and the disproportionate impact they have. Gutting African Nova Scotian affairs, defunding domestic violence courts, cutting funding for tourism, arts and culture that make our province the place it is, taking supports away from people with disabilities and caregivers. If the ministers responsible for departments can't speak to these cuts, how can Nova Scotians have faith in their leadership?
I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And what the member is not acknowledging is that spending in this budget year over year is up, Madam Speaker, like it has been every year we've been in government. When we can do more, we do more. Times are tough, but, Madam Speaker, we're still doing more. But that means we have to make some difficult decisions. We are focusing on protecting health care. We are focusing on protecting school lunch programs, protecting students. We are focusing on the core services of Nova Scotians, and we will continue to do that, can maintain that focus, while also keeping taxes down, maintaining the tax cuts that we have put in place, because families are struggling. The Leader of the NDP thinks government knows better what to do with money than families. I believe families do, Madam Speaker.